home. This is the second part of the home and home series. It's so ironic that we played these guys early in the year, and now we're playing them in the second round of the NIT, and of course having to go up there and play them in their environment. That's going to be a challenge, especially with our young team. But at the same time, we're in a tournament, and we're playing for a championship, and they are as well. So we look forward to going up and hopefully play good basketball. Play good basketball from the standpoint of defensively, to stay on the same page. I think the biggest chore is going to be rebounding the basketball. The last time we played them, I believe they got like 3 opportunities to score the last bucket. And so that means we didn't do a very good job from that standpoint. We were fortunate in that game there. And of course, they're a much better basketball team than they were. That was early in the year. And hopefully we'll be a different team, especially without Daniel. He had a big game in that game. So it's going to have to be a lot of guys stepping up and really playing good basketball. But we got to be, again, defensively we got to be good, and offensively we got to be efficient. You got multiple guys coming off the bench, hopefully can give us a lift, and guys starting off, getting to a good start. So we're looking forward to it.
Just the emotion is obvious there in the last, that first game without Daniel. Is that going to be a big challenge just to harness that again to keep it going?
Well, I'm anxious to see. We got back yesterday, and as a matter of fact, I gave him the whole day off yesterday, and so we got back in the gym today, and I think these guys got a workman's-like attitude. So I'm hoping that's going to be a carryover. But sometimes you do wonder about that. But I really believe that these guys will go out and continue to play for each other, and that's been the biggest. They play for each other.
Mike, I think he played 28 minutes all year. I think he actually had more points, or about as many points and rebounds the other night as he had all season. Did he surprise you? What did he show you, and what do you think he can do in this game?
I alluded to, I think earlier, that he had bits and pieces of it in practice. You can see him, really coming on. I think over the course of the year, going against these guys day in and day out, you got to get better. And so, opportunity presented itself, and he took advantage of it.
Did he surprise you? I mean, what impressed you about what he did? What do you think he might be able to do against Indiana?
I think he went out and just defensively he rebounded the basketball. He was in the right place at the right time. He ran the floor. So all the things we've been encouraging him to do, I thought he went out there and did it. And the other guys out there, I thought they helped him. They helped him when he was out there in position. So, no, I think when you put him out there, with the understanding you're going to go out and help your team and perform, and I thought he did.
How big was that for you guys to have him, give you some good minutes, and how good was it for him in terms of gaining some confidence when he barely played? Well,
we talked about, we had somebody, Dan moved on, so it was an opportunity for him to step into those, some of those minutes. And I thought he did a good job of stepping up, and that's what this team is going to be all about. It's going to be different guys. We'll see an emergence of Gabe stepping up a little bit more, Cheney hopefully stepping up a little bit more. You get those forwards to really stepping up for us a little bit more, and then of course your guard play. I think that's going to be critical. And I'm not talking about we want them to score and they have a chance to space the floor. And now it makes those forwards a little bit more effective, because now they can put the ball on the floor and hopefully get in the lanes and get to the free throw lines or get to the basket.
After the game Tuesday, I think you called Reggie a wrecking crew. I guess could you kind of expound on that and what you saw from him?
He was doing a lot of everything. I thought he was blocking shots. He was rebounding. I thought he matched the physicality of the Big East play, which was Providence was bringing to the table. He had 7 blocked shots. That's being active. He'll block a shot. He's on the other end finishing on the fast break. He's going to the basket, tipping balls. More importantly, I thought he was active. He's active defensively and offensively.
I think last time they played 8 guys, they had about 4 guys hurt. I think they're all back now. But Langford, with the back, are you preparing as if he's going to play and getting ready for that?
Yeah, I believe they'll have the whole team. I think as you advance into the tournament, I'm sure we played them early in the year, so they're familiar with us, and vice versa. And we were fortunate to win the game, so I'm sure they'll be ready to play. And the Green kid, I don't think he played. I think they had another guard that didn't play. So they got a really good basketball team. I think it was a good basketball. Mike Roberts, I think it was the Mike Roberts kid. So, but they're a team that can shoot the basketball. Of course, you got all conference player in Morgan. Then, as you said, Langford, no question about his talent. But the Durham kid played well here. So they got, the guy that's really playing well for him is the Justin Smith kid. He's a tough matchup because he can go inside and outside.
What did Langford show you in that first game? And I guess he didn't play the other night. Maybe they were holding him out because they thought they'd win without him. But what do you think of him as a player? And if he can play, how does he impact the game? And if he can't play, how does that impact?
Well, very talented kid. I mean, he can go off the dribble. He can shoot the 3-point shot. He's so long. He gets in that lane and he just he can make plays. And very athletic kid. But he's one of those smooth kind of players, and he's big. He lead him in scoring. Probably a great rebounder as well. Just a very, very talented kid.
So if he can play, how does that impact the game, you think?
Well, just make them that much more potent. I think here he played well here. He shot the ball. He got to the lanes. He got to the free throw line. He's a tough matchup.
On top of Reggie's 7 blocks, he had, I think, a career high of 14 points. Is that just kind of a case of him getting more opportunity in some extended minutes and just taking advantage of it? Yeah,
I thought we played well. We shot the ball well. I thought, he did a good job on the glass. I thought, we ran some stuff for him, and he finished around the basket. We were penetrating, and guys were finding him, and he was finishing off plays. I mean, we've seen some times throughout this year where we missed those chippies. He missed those chippies, but, the other night he was making them. So I thought he had a good game.
Go ahead, Lou.
Coach, Michigan State had 4 losses in the Big Ten, of which 2 of them were to Indiana. Since you last played them, have you seen anything in the tapes or anything in the film differently than when you first played them, of what they have adjusted?
Oh, I think they're a much more complete team. As I said, we played them early in the year. They didn't have all the parts, and now they got all the pieces there, and those guys are, they're not freshmen anymore. When you think about Langford, he's not a freshman anymore. The guard, I think, Finney, he's a really good guard. He's much, much better than he was. Justin Smith, I thought he played like I watched that Michigan State game at their place, and they were down the whole game. And he kind of did it on his own. And then, of course, Morgan, he's the guy that makes tough plays for him. So they've got inside, they've got outside, and they're a physical basketball team. And so we got to be able to match their physicality. I think rebounding is going to be a big issue in this game, and defending. And then the ending part of defense is rebounding the basketball. So I can't say it enough. Our defense has got to be really, really good, lights out.
How big was it having a whole year practicing against Gafford just on a daily basis?
Well, that's why I say that's why I thought he's probably more prepared than we can imagine, because going against these guys every day in practice, you got to get better at some point in time, and so. But he was able to go out and get some minutes. He's a recipient of some of those minutes, and he played well.
The 3-point line was back. I think it was 1 foot and 4.5 inches. So that's a pretty significant amount of distance. But you guys shot, just like, at almost 50%. Were you surprised, and what was the key to that?
We just made shots. I mean, it was one of those nights where we made shots, Bob. I mean, but we got some guys that shoot from probably that range anyway. When you talk about Isaiah and Mason, but it was Desi. I think he's put in the time, and so we're starting to see some of the fruits of his labor. And he's putting time in, on his shot, so he's able to knock shots down. But we shot the ball well, and of course you played to shoot the ball well. So, but I really thought we shared the ball too. And if you look at some of those shots, the the passing was really crisp and the lanes was open, so guys had spot open shots and they knocked them down.
Indiana, they won 5 out of 6, including Michigan State and Wisconsin at home. How well are they playing right
They're playing
now?
well. They're playing real well. They scored, I think, something like 80, almost 90 points the other night. They had almost 90 points the other night in that particular game. So had 89 against Rutgers. So they're playing at a high level. Like I said, we played them in November. So here we're talking about in March. You know they're a much better basketball team. I think they've been tested, and much so like we have. We've been tested as well.
Coach, how much can a stretch like this, going on the road a couple times and just going through the postseason, help bring together a young team like you have?
Well, I think, it's not only just going on the road, but the caliber of teams we're playing. You're playing the Big East. You're playing, these are some of the, when you talk about postseason and having an opportunity to play against someone other than the SEC. I think it could bode well for us, especially moving forward, and then playing against the Indiana team that is playing really good basketball, and we played them early in the year. So I think it's good for this young basketball team, especially when you had a little adversity to come about. And like I said, just getting a glimpse of the future. That's what you're getting a glimpse of.
Mike, Ed Cooley said you guys seem more excited to play. Alabama got upset, and the Norfolk State guy said they could tell in warm-ups Alabama wasn't into the game. When you're in the NIT, how important is it the guys are excited, and how do you feel about your team's, I guess, level of excitement for playing in this tournament?
Well, a lot of teams, when you come off, the conference tournament, you're obviously emotional, the loss and all that stuff, and it could stay with you a little bit. So, but if you're going to play, if you choose to play in a tournament, then you need to go out and play and give everything you got. You're playing for a championship. I guess I had the fortune to actually play in the NIT and win a championship. So I know the value of winning championships, and what it does is sets the mindset up for hopefully something even bigger. But you got to show it with energy. I know that, and I thought our energy was good. But it's the mindset you go into it, and we're such a young basketball team that any opportunity to go out and play and try to get better, I think, will help this team. Not only right now, but in the future as well.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.